Alright guys, let's go over it. Where is the best spot on the entire Paragon board for the Sorceress for the Tears of Blood? Now, to answer what a lot of people wanted, I could just answer simply with, well, Static Surge gives you the highest number, thanks for watching. But that's not actually the case, and the reason why is it's build dependent, and in some of the Paragon boards, there's actually going to be some niche areas where you may have to spend several points because the Tears of Blood will actually skip out a whole cross section, and it gives you an extra bonus if you reach that other area, and it may take several points, and at that point it may not be worth it even though it has the highest number, but it is very build dependent. So here are going to be the numbers for the Tears of Blood. This is going to consider it that it is at least level 50. If it's under level 50, well, we don't get the max radius, and then I'd have to make two separate videos. Assuming that most people will eventually reach level 50, this is what this video is for. But most situations, it's going to be advantageous to put this in regardless because it's just much better, even if it's not level 50 versus another glyph. Like, there's no other way you're going to get like 80, 90x multiplicative damage in most situations versus just running like a regular glyph that you would have gotten. So keep in mind, take this video with a grain of salt, as there are times where for whatever reason on this there's no lock feature, and if I drag the mouse it may click on one. So if there is any errors, let me know and I will update via the pinned comment via this method here. So originally most of the Paragon boards were anywhere from 148 to 158 in terms of numerical stats, but there are certain exceptions to some boards in the game. So let's go ahead and just give you guys all of the numbers, but again, I have to make the video this way versus just saying, again, best board, technically Static Surge at 272x multiplicative damage, and the lowest one, I believe, is the starter board at 218. So just so we're all thorough and clear here, what I'm going to do for this video, and I need some feedback from you guys because this is what I plan to do for every single class, because I have been asked time and time again, which is the best board, and while I cannot just answer that because it depends on what build you're playing, and like I said, I mentioned that there's some exceptions. I'm just going to give you guys the raw numbers. And remember that this is counting that the glyph is at least level 50. I know it shows 200, and we're looking at the highest number. Even if it's level 50, all the numbers will still be higher, okay? Just so we're clear on the rule on this. So starting right off, 218 is going to be for the starter board for the Tears of Blood. And then next up over here, now I'm going to read it via the name over here. So Searing Heat, this board, reading off the legendary node here, this board will actually give you 236.8. And the next board over here that I have is Icefall, and Icefall will grant you, and see how that there's like one over here that you can grab. Now, even though this one is in here, it does not actually increase the numerical stat, because I had people ask me about that, and as far as I'm aware of, even though it is in the glyph range, it's just a legendary node. So you can see it's 242. If I put this in, it does not actually change that number. It shouldn't change it. It doesn't give any stats, but some people had asked about that, so I figured to make the video as thorough as possible, we'll go ahead and do that. So in this board over here, this is Icefall. This is going to be 242.8, and then next up we have the Elemental Summoner. And we are going to go ahead and throw this one in over here. Just make sure we didn't accidentally click, because again, this is like one thing that's very frustrating because this is all like done by hand. We have 254 on Elemental Summoner. And then moving on to the next board, which is the Enchantment Master. This one is going to have 236.8. And then going up to Burning Instinct, we happen to have 248.8. And then we go on to Static Surge, which is actually the, again, best board, but take it again with a grain of salt, because you will have to pass, if you really want to get it. Technically, if I just remove that, it's still pretty high. It's 266, and it's still arguably the best, but would you want to put in all those points to reach that node? Maybe you don't need Static Surge, right? And that's a hefty amount of points to put in, and that's why I said this video is much better in the style that I'm doing it versus just giving you the numbers. But 272 over here is this number, 0.7. I don't know if the point decimal like matters, but hey, we'll put it in here just to be as thorough as possible. So that was Static Surge, and then into Ceaseless Conduit. So in Ceaseless Conduit over here, it's 224.8. And in the final board, which is going to be, because we've done all the boards here, in the final board, which is Frigid Fate, it is going to be 260.7. So again, the worst board is the starter board, and the best board is going to be Static Surge. But arguably Frigid Fate is really good because, again, you may not want this board, and Frigid Fate is probably arguably one of the best in the entire game for the Sorceress. So that's what I would do in terms of a Sorceress. I'd probably put it in, to answer the question, which is the best board. Like I said, it's dependent, but I would much rather put it in here. The difference is you get like different 10x, but most builds will get this anyways. But if you want to save your points, heck, I mean, you could, in theory, go for this board because it actually gives you mana, which some builds will actually want to achieve, so, just so you can have your core mastery skills hitting for extra crit. You will need to reach the mana threshold, and the mana bonus is actually on this board over here. So again, it's kind of dependent on the build, but hopefully that answers your question. And again, give me some feedback, guys, on the style of videos, because I do plan to make one for every single class. And if you guys want any suggestions or changes for this, this is the style that I plan to go forward with, but let me know down below. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, turn that bell, and I'll update you guys if anything does change. And read the pinned comment in case we need to add any other adjustments. But anyways, peace out, guys.